with it. If you need any changes for the roster, panel, forums, just ask a head admin. Don't DM Sporeburst or anybody, Eagle, Arthur. Also, for trial mods, don't DM us for in-game perms. The directors are the only people that can do that, and they check the roster on a regular basis. Remember to talk to people before you punish them. Use proper judgment.
Mic off.
AKA common sense. Staff guidelines, make sure you know them for what rank you are. Chain of command, always follow that, of course. What's new? Remember to punish for actual reasons that are valid, that actually have something, that have some relevance to the server rules. Don't just kick them for bullshit.
Your channel is recording.
Something that actually makes sense.
User disconnected from your channel.
That's it for notes. No new updates and changes, really. Anything to add to notes? Steel? Michael?
Anything to add?
Yeah.
Yeah, to add on for the FAs. I mean, obviously, you should not be. I mean, yeah, he did go over this, but
User disconnected from your channel.
you know, if you're jumping hills, berms, jumping across intersections, thinking your shit don't stink, it's not gonna go down, and it's not gonna happen. I see it, I'm kicking you. Simple as that. I mean, just because you bought something doesn't mean you're invincible, and doesn't mean that you can do whatever the hell you want. You know, your money is to support the server, not to show that you're a douchebag and want to go ahead and think that you can do whatever you want. So just get that mindset out of your guys' head, whoever you are. Yeah, that's really it.
Michael?
Just a short thing that we can talk about later on in the meeting is some staff member think that there is only one pursuit per hour. For some reason, somebody thinks that's a rule. It's not, but we'll get to that later on.
Alright, move on to promotions now. Do you guys want to start off with trial mods or moderators? I'll start with trial mods. W. White, if you're here getting promoted, R. Singh, Chris Abbott, Andrew Jarrett, and Austin. They're going from trial mod to moderator. For moderators being promoted, we have 3 for today. Michael D., Brian M., and Sophie. Alright, we get TeamSpeak tags. That's it for promotions, so congrats to everyone who got it. You guys can spam chat for like a second and say congrats. Whatever you want to do. Other than that, we can go to questions. Type PTS in chat if you wish to speak. Jose is first, I guess.
Okay, so the thing we've been talking about this in staff chat and player name. Are we allowed to have that or no?
What was your question?
If we were able to have player names activated.
You're asking if you can use the setting in F1 menu where it allows them to show their name, their player name.
The overhead names.
Yeah, so
that's up to you, but using it to an advantage be considered metagaming.
Okay.
You can compare it to player blips, although it's not as accurate as player blips, that gives you a DC advantage. So I highly recommend it, not using it while especially on LEO or anything like that, because it's very easy to abuse in metagame, and the executive staff team doesn't really like it when staff use blips or player names on duty. So.
Alright, and also there's been a punishment going around. It's basically leaving a staff set. Do you guys consider that as an LTAP or no?
So he's asking if leaving a staff set is considered LTAP, which
leaving
really,
until you're dismissed is considered LTAP.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So if they run away or leave the server or TP away or whatever, you can hit them with the LTAP.
Unless it was by mistake for some reason.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, that's fine, thank you.
Like, watch if somebody's summoned him. It's not their fault, you know. Staff members.
Alright, who's next? Sai. Chuck. Go ahead.
Hello? I know you guys said that you were going to talk about this later, but I just wanted to ask something to specify. I know you guys are talking about how people are saying they're about the 110 per hour rule. Specifically, are you saying that the issue is with people enforcing that as a rule, or LEO just saying they're not going to pursue a 1080?
Great question. So, the issue is that staff members are enforcing it as a rule. So
Okay.
they're actually giving out punishments like warning kicks, etc.
Okay.
So there is no rule saying that there is only to be one pursuit per hour. It doesn't exist.
100%.
However, you need to make sure that they do have a valid reason before they run. If they do not have a valid reason before they run, you can hit them with that. That's an actual rule. And it's Leo discretion to choose if they want to pursue them or not. That's up to the LEOs.
So LEO saying we're not going to pursue any 1080s for this hour is fine as long as the staff do not.
That's completely
particularly
fine,
enforce
as long as staff doesn't enforce it.
it. Understood.
It's not a certain rule.
All right, that's the question.
Or it should
Alright.
be like the way I do it. Where I'll start doing a 1080, but I won't call for assistant units. Maybe you'll call for one personally, but I won't say vote 1080. And get every single unit on duty to do it.
Go ahead, sing.
Hey, so are we bringing back the rule where we have to talk to people before we punish them? Because sometimes you're here like talking to people and someone just kicks them because they didn't want to talk to them. So what's the deal with that?
So, as a staff member in the guidelines, it says that you're required to act professionally at all times. In my mind, it's rather unprofessional to kick or punish somebody without talking to them. Unless they're being extremely unreasonable, you know, or L-tapping or whatever. But we highly recommend talking to people at all times because there can be mistakes, misunderstandings, etc. And players are not going to learn from their mistakes if they don't know what they did wrong. But however, if they're not on the server, you obviously can't talk to them, so that's LTAP. It's not a rule, but it's a recommendation, but you can see it as acting unprofessional or being lazy or just slopping about, so.
10-4 sounds good.
Alright. Who's next? Zach. Where are you, Zach? Go ahead.
Alrighty, so I'm just making sure this is a statement before I go into my question. Every FA that did buy, they just forgot to mention this. Every FA that did buy their situation, I do agree with them. It's for the server, etc. As well as make sure that you go to one of the higher ups of each subdivision if you want to be a part of it, to know how to be trained correctly before you even go on duty of it. We have to enforce that really well because of, let's say Air 1 was up and he didn't know how to run thermals. That would be a downfall with our priority, etc. As well as, my question is that, crap, I forgot. Hold on.
User in your channel is recording.
Yeah, that's actually a great statement. All FAs are required to read SOPs for everything, all departments, all subdivisions, everything like that. And it's very smart to go to the leader of the subdivision or members so they can be properly trained. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Very simple. Anything else, Zach?
Yeah. So, as well as that, whenever, even the people that did get promoted today, congratulations for either moderator or administration. What they would usually do whenever you get promoted, make sure to read over the SOPs. Well, no, not SOPs, the what you're supposed to do as a moderator or administrator.
Good advice. Alrighty, is that it for Zach?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. Who's next? Let's see, Marius. Nope, Andrew. Who's Andrew? Anyways, go ahead, Andrew.
Alright, my question was regarding stealing LEO vehicles, because it's been kind of thin, because I had someone come to me today saying that they are told by staff that they are allowed to steal LEO vehicles if they were priority at the beginning. But then I was also told before by higher staff that no matter what the situation is, you can't steal an LEO vehicle unless it's approved by highest rank. How exactly does that work with the rules, just to clarify for me and everyone here?
So under scenario and AOP rules, it specifically says, let's see, your prohibited scenarios. Below are all the scenario-specific rules for file and server. These are include rules for imitation and features. It says stealing LAO/fire/EMS vehicles. These are all priority scenarios that are forbidden. Which says itself it's not to be done unless specifically approved by a staff member and agreed with all the LEOs on the server. So
okay,
cause it shouldn't happen.
Okay, because he was really confused, because the priority got 22'd, and then we had to talk to him, and he's like, well, I had staff tell me that I can as long as the priority wasn't beginning with stealing the vehicle.
Nope.
Got it.
That's the same as saying, for example, raiding military and federal assets. That's, you can start at 1080, but then you can turn into raiding military and federal assets. You wouldn't be allowed to do that, right? Same thing for LEO vehicles.
Alright, that was all for me. Thank you.
Alright. Who's next? I think Marius.
Yeah, it was two things to add in with stealing LEO vehicles. If you're not gold VIP, I believe you can't actually lock your vehicle. So
there's a beautiful thing called personal vehicle.
And that's okay. I thought that was
everything
all
is. I think everyone has access to that. Eagle, can you confirm? I'm pretty sure everyone has access to that.
I didn't have access to it before I got my stamp.
Okay, it's gold VIP only. Okay, yes.
Yeah, and I've also seen multiple FAs take scene command without asking without asking the highest ranking in the RTO. wallet bank robbery or what it is.
So
Just wondering
FA is counted as commander or area commander in all departments. So technically, they can take scene command if not requested that they don't by the higher ups. Like, as you are the chief of CHP, you can tell an FA to stand down, and he should stand down.
Okay, because I thought the spore said something about they should actually take it and ask the highest ranking officer that's not FA first. But I wasn't sure about this.
Yeah, no, so an FA is accounted as a commander, but again, you can ask them to stand down if you want to, so... Does that answer all your questions? I recognize a yes. I want to see actually if we can get I thought the actual personal vehicle things for everybody.
Oh, fuck.
Is there any other questions, comments, or concerns that need to be brought up? Nope. Oh. Okay. Go ahead, Sting.
Alright, so might sound like I'm in a plane, but so I don't know if you guys already have it, but do you guys have it required for all the new FAs to read the SOP that you guys made, so there are no confusions while they're on duty and they understand what their role is?
Yeah, no, all FAs are required to read all the SOPs, just like any other officers are required to read the SOP.
No.
They're not?
It's different. FA has their own SOP due to the influx of the amount of FAs, but they are not required to follow every single aspect of all the other SOPs. The primary thing that they have to follow is the uniform structure. That is the biggest thing. Because FAs are technically allowed to drive any vehicle they want, even if it's an administration vehicle. They don't have to follow the unmarked policies.
Alright, well, let's move on. That's a misunderstanding on my part. Alright.
The SOP for FA is right here.
Right, Easton.
Basically just states also in the SOP that if FAs aren't exempt from anything, they have the ability to be removed from FA regardless of how much they purchased it for. It doesn't matter. We're not gonna tolerate bullshit. It's a privilege.
Let's see if we can get like a Discord or anything like that. I think that's going to be needed due to the new amount.
What's a
FA Discord?
No.
No? Right.
We still don't want one.
Go ahead, Easton.
Alright, so Eagle, you said that FA have to follow uniform structure still within departments based on if they're RPing as CHP, LAP, or LASD.
Yes.
So if a department restricts a certain piece of clothing for a commander, the FA can't wear it then.
The FAs are commanders.
But if they're RPing, say sheriff restricts a piece of clothing for commanders and the FA decides to wear that clothing, they're not allowed to?
I'm confused on what you're saying. So you're saying CHP, or like let's say you're sheriff. So if you were sheriff and you restricted a uniform piece to commanders, then that means FA are allowed to wear it. They are commanders. FAs are area commanders in every department.
No, like, okay. So
are you saying administration or are you saying commanders?
Okay. So, for example, in sheriff, LASD gang task force, that vest is only allowed by top 5, as the top 5 stated. So I've seen multiple FAs wearing that, but they only allow top 5 to wear that. So are they not
If that's the
supposed to be
case,
wearing
then
that?
no, they're not supposed to be wearing it.
Alright, so yeah, that's my question.
They're
pretty
required to
much.
follow uniform structure, but I mean, obviously they're allowed to do civilian clothing as well because of their, their quote unquote area commanders. In most
Alright.
departments, I think it's lieutenant plus get to wear civilian clothing. So
Yeah.
I mean, then at that point it's fine, but they don't need approval from, let's say, top 5 or whatever to wear that uniform. They just get to wear the uniform, a badged uniform. But if they can't just be wearing, like, let's say, Blaine County Sheriff, like the old shit or whatever, they can't be wearing
realistic.
that. They have to be wearing realistic uniforms. Yes, that is in the SOP.
Because, like, I've seen people patrolling, like, full-on SWAT gear.
No, they're not allowed to do that.
Alright, good to know.
They once again, whatever the department they're RPing as is the department they are quote unquote in temporarily.
Alright, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
No, they don't. I just said that, Marius. They don't have to get approval
User in your channel is
for
recording.
their
User disconnected from
civilian
your channel.
clothing uniform. They get to kind of wear what they want, but it has to be within reason. Like, let's say they can't just be wearing fucking bathing suit while on duty. No, that doesn't make fucking sense. Their uniforms have to be realistic. That's in our FASOP. But I'm saying, like, when they're wearing uniform structure, like when they're actually wearing uniforms, like marked uniforms, they have to wear the actual marked uniforms laid out in the structure.
Okay, next
And then
one.
also, like, vehicles, like I said, they're allowed to drive any vehicle. And as for subdivisions, we have it laid out in the FASOP as well. Subdivisions. FAs are not permitted to RP subdivisions they are not trained for. I.e., like, if you're MBU, yeah, you can go ahead and drive motorcycles, that's fine. If you were SRT, SWAT, or HRU in previously, yes, you're allowed to RP as such. If you were Air Ops, yes, you're allowed to RP as Air Ops.
Alright. Just to add to that, if there's any issues...
FA are allowed to wear civilian clothes just like normal lieutenants are. They can wear them on patrols, they can wear them for anything, really. As long as they have their badge. Also, as like an FYI, FA are not FTOs, they are not FTAs. And in order to be permitted to do like trainings and shit like that, you have to talk to the top 5 of the department and be permitted by them. So, yeah. You cannot, FA cannot be giving out commands either to people in the department, but they cannot be commanded by other people in the department except for top 5 of the department they are RPing as. We used to never need these restrictions because it used to never be a problem, but due to now this influx of people in FA, now it's starting to be a problem and we have to do this stuff, so.
Okay.
Who's
next?
I think Dom wants
Talk
PTS.
power granted.
Dom? Where's Dom?
Mic on.
I've got it.
Alright,
Alright,
got it.
so a huge controversy that I'd like to personally have addressed is, okay, so floating agents are able to drive any vehicle that is available to commanders and lower, so pretty much everything.
No, any vehicle they have access to drive.
Right, so with that being said, with this new unmarked MBU thing that's being done with Marius and other MBU directors, that requires them to take a test and get certification for such. Does the same thing apply to floating agents? Meaning
No.
they should go and seek out the training for the bike before they use it?
No, they just have to follow the right uniform for that bike.
Hey, wake up.
They don't have to receive any additional training past the typical MBU training.
Okay, thank you.
Because it's not a separate subdivision, it's one subdivision.
Talk power revoked.
Mic off.
Just like technically, when they are RPing as like SRT or HRU, the individual's technically going to be like a dual purpose or an all-purpose unit. Regardless of what their training was prior, they're going to be a marksman, they're going to be a EOD, they're going to be all that stuff.
Talk power revoked.
Alright, Alex Taylor.
Okay, I just dealt with this just in game with this. That's it. What? Okay, so there's two people who were just RDMing and using grenades. Well, I looked up one person in the staff panel. They didn't come up at all, but they were on the same account. But the other person had a different name. But they both did not come up the staff panel at all. What do I do in that situation?
Say that one more time. That confused the shit out of me.
I think you just have something spelling wrong.
Alright, so somebody called for staff. I TP'd over there just a second ago, maybe 15 minutes ago. And one guy named Casper Garage and one named Morgan. Well, Casper kept on blowing up, so I kept on blowing, like, throwing grenades, so I kicked him. Well, once I kicked Casper, Morgan, which is his friend, also got kicked.
That means they could be using the same Steam account or same game.
Same license.
Same, yeah, GTA license.
Okay.
Which is bad and illegal.
Yes.
Because I looked up Casper
Basically, they're using Family Share from Steam, and they're using it to essentially duplicate GTA 5, which then affects both of them. That's on them. That's not on us.
So does it go on both profiles?
Yes, it's going to be applied to both profiles, and that's completely fine. That's their decision. They're already doing something illegal in the eyes of Steam.
Alright, because I didn't know what to do in that scenario. Because I was trying to look up their name in CAD, and the panel, but it wouldn't come at all.
And you already issued the punishment?
Yeah, I had to kick him.
That's fine.
It was
Just
supposed
leave it.
Okay. That's it.
User in your channel is recording.
Alright, who had PTS next? Oblivion.
Never mind.
Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Andrew.
Quick thing, do FAs need to be accepted into a subdivision, or are they just kind of like automatically accepted?
They need to be trained. They don't need to be.
I
They
know
don't
they
need
need
to
to be
apply. They don't need to apply. They just got to go and request training.
Okay, and what if there's not necessarily like room for an FA in that department? Or
They're not.
subdivision?
It's not. They don't get. They're not in the subdivision. They're an FA.
Yes,
FA
you're
doesn't
good.
have subdivisions. You just have to be trained in that subdivision. You don't get the tags. You're not in it on the roster. You're just got to be trained in how the subdivision operates.
Okay, I just want to double
And
check.
then once you do that, then you're good to go. RP is that subdivision.
Got it. Thank you.
Because the only exemption to that is SOU, yes. And dispatch, medic, and fire don't apply to FA because FA only applies to the 3 main Leo departments. SOU is completely different since SOU is a combination of the 3 Leo departments. Well, actually, it's only 2 Leo departments because LAPD are buttholes, but regardless. Oh, LAPD did join? Okay, that's fine. That's up to the HU's Oblivion.
Steel said he already hooked all the people that needed to be hooked up. He hooked them up.
You got them on
If you're still
Discord
missing,
and everything?
Yep, they're all done.
On the
If you're
forums.
still missing,
Yep.
just PM me.
Forums, Discord, and panel.
Good.
There you go. Anything else? No. Going once, going twice. Alright, everybody have a fantastic weekend.